Not going to sit here and deny that that doesn't exist because I talk about it myself. But I don't sit here, a pure white, all-American girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, just the total package of white saying this. At least my daddy was black. Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. Now, today's video is going to be pretty edgy, pretty interesting, maybe even a little comical to some people, but it is definitely racist. So if you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave me a comment, tell me what you think, but let's get into this. I mean, shall we?
Ooh, you're gonna really stick it to us. You go get you a black queen. You go get you a black queen and see how that turns out for you. What's up, folks? Welcome back to the show. Today we are discussing race mixing today. It's a topic that I don't think when you're growing up you feel very strongly about this until you grow up and you really start to appreciate how amazing your race is, aka being white. All right? I didn't really, never really had any strong feelings about it. I mean, I grew up in the South. I was always like, yeah, ooh. There's the girls that race mix and you can always tell, and it's always like, But then when you get a little older and you realize, oh wow, you walk around, you see what the Western world is, you see what white people have created, you see how beautiful white people are, then you're not like, you know what, maybe it's good to keep that. Actually, maybe it's good to have a little diversity. And you know how you achieve diversity? You have distinct cultures and you have distinct races. And you know how you preserve distinct races and cultures? You don't mix. That's why. That's how, okay? And I know people don't disagree with this. They want to go off and marry a black queen or whatever. It doesn't work on so many levels. A, you're destroying thousands of years of DNA. Now your children are going to not look like you. Your children are going to feel kind of disenfranchised. They don't really know what to identify with. Do I identify with my black dad or my white mom or vice versa, whatever. And this goes for any race in general. But I think white people have to get back to realizing that there's something special and unique about them, and it's worth preserving, okay? Black people, I think they should preserve their race. Hot take. Why would you wanna mix with somebody now your kids aren't gonna look like you? I don't get it. Here's a video actually of a mixed race woman. Of course, she wants to bring racism into it because it's always racism, right? But she brings up a valid point about what it's like to be mixed race, and it doesn't look like it's that great.
I beg to differ. That was not my experience. And this is not a video to be like, ooh, I feel so sorry for you. Oh my God, being mixed must be so hard. No, there are things that are great, I guess. On a superficial level,
Really? I mean, just judging from the video, that mix doesn't look that great. Just aesthetics alone, not to mention the DNA of her mother being ruined. And of her father, frankly. He could have married another black girl. They could have had pretty black kids. Because black babies are really cute. Pure black kids. You see the mixed ones? Not so much. Sorry, it's the truth.
Yes, but there's a lot of hardships that come out of that experience. There's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of confusion, and I want to talk about some of those things. Namely, I have a white mom. I feel like something happens when you become a young woman, a young black woman, a young colored woman, 15, 16, that happens with a white parent sometimes, at least from mother to daughter, where I didn't feel like my mom's child.
There you go. Because you're not. You don't look like her. You don't resemble her. You don't share the same kind of culture. Because unfortunately, it's like the white seems to be the recessive. It's almost like they always revert to the black culture.
Now, for you guys, you know me, I'm biracial, so I'm just sitting here like my jaw, I had to pick it up before I started recording again. I just wanted to kind of let half of this video play through. We're going to watch the other half too, of course. But do you see what I mean? Like, this lady is outwardly racist, like self-admitted, like whole YouTube channel. I think she has like 100,000 subscribers or something like that. She's allowed to do this, allowed to say these things. And granted, she's not saying anything vile or horrible, but she's saying things that are clearly racist. And for her to, knock this girl's physical appearance. Now, I don't know what she's doing with her hair. I mean, I have no idea why she's holding her hair up like this. Like, that's just a little weird. But other than that, I don't think the girl is bad looking at all. I mean, she looks thin. She has a good weight. She's got a nice skin tone. You know what I'm saying? She looks healthy. Like, I don't understand why she said that she's not attractive. Now, the mixed thing, not knowing where you fit in, being around white people and not necessarily fitting in, and being around black people and not necessarily fitting in, that whole thing, I have made a video about, and you guys know how I feel. Like, I totally agree. But I don't think that it should stop anybody from race mixing, because I mean, first of all, sometimes you can't help who you fall in love with, you know. And if you like somebody and you're vibing with them and you want to have kids, I mean, your kids aren't going to look like you as far as skin and maybe hair texture, but they'll have similar features like you know. Like for instance, I'll put this picture up of me and my mom. Like clearly our skin tones aren't that much different, because she was mostly Italian. I want to say she was Greek and mostly Italian. So my mom's no longer here with us. I can't exactly ask her, but as you can see, we're not that far off from appearance from each other. Now, when it comes to my dad, I can show a picture of him as well. Yeah, we don't necessarily look exactly alike, but I'm 100% his daughter, and he raised me and he loved me and never made me feel any different about it. So it's like, while the rest of the world may have their preconceived notions, in your family, in your household, you don't have to feel estranged. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to, like, you know, outside the immediate family, yeah, it's a little tricky sometimes, because when it came to my mother's side of the family, I want to say they probably thought just like this young lady here, where it's like, oh, they're not really like us. They're half black. So, you know, they may have their, just like she does, preconceived notions about black people, therefore boxing them, thinking that they can't be trusted, maybe that we're lower IQ, maybe that we're automatically going to steal from them or something. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But when it came to my actual parents, never felt unloved, never felt out of place. And granted, it is true, you know, as far as phenotypes, we may look slightly different. I mean, my hair much thicker, much fuller than my mom's, much curlier, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to my dad, obviously he had a more Afrocentric, you know, hair texture or whatever, so it's not like his either. But whatever this is, it's a mixture of both of theirs, you know? But I was slightly offended by the fact that she said the young lady was unattractive and saying that her mix wasn't a good one. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I've actually never heard that before in my life. Like, most of the time I've heard people say that biracial people were quite attractive, quite beautiful. Now, I'm not going to knock this girl as far as Lily Gaddis, that's her name. And of course, I will link the video in the description if you guys want to go see the racism for yourself firsthand. You absolutely can. There's plenty of videos on her channel, but I'm not going to knock her look. I think she is, you know, even though she's a racist, and clearly, I think she is pretty. I mean, I can't deny the fact that she is aesthetically attractive. She has pretty nice eyes, hair. She looks thin as well, looks good, like she's in shape. So, but as far as her personality goes, like the fact that you have all these, you know, ideas and stereotypes fixated on black people, don't get me wrong. You guys know how, I mean, if you've been watching me for a while, you know how I feel about the ghetto blacks, because there's, you know what I'm saying? There's levels to this ish. Like, there's certain types of white people. Not all white people are stellar and fancy and well-spoken, educated. It's the same thing in black community. Like, you've got your educated black people who understand life and situations and who can vibe and do well with others, and they are open to experiencing new things. And then you have the ghetto ones that make life absolutely miserable, and they do ruin a lot of stuff. Let's be real. Not going to sit here and deny that that doesn't exist, because I talk about it myself, but I don't sit here, a pure white, all-American girl, you know, blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, just the total package of white, saying this. You know, at least you know my daddy was black. So you know that I know, because I've lived it firsthand. You know, here she is from the outside looking in as a white person saying this stuff. And it's like, totally racist. Totally racist. But I'm going to stop it and let it play out the rest of the video.
You know, she's going to identify more with her black dad than her white mom. And then you know what she's going to do? She's going to start to resent that white mom, which is exactly what this video reeks of, resentment.
And I didn't feel like my mom recognized me as her child. I feel like there's a huge disconnect that started to happen as I started to grow into myself. My experiences she could not relate to, she could not understand. Even if she tried, if she did try, she couldn't get it. She didn't get it. Especially, I remember when
one of the best things about having a kid is it's your child. It's like of you. You know, you grew and created this child. You know what I mean? And so if you have your child grow up and then they're like, oh, I don't identify with you at all, you know, that's a weird disconnect on both ends.
I moved to the US, and the whole question of race started to come up in a totally different way that I had experienced in France.
Yeah, because in the US we have BLM, we have everybody talking about racism, everything's racist. That's why. Not because America's racist, but because the black people here are extremely racist. Black people everywhere can't stand white people. That's just a fact.
My mom didn't get it. Like, my mom did not get what the fuck I was talking about or what I was going through, and everything was just like, it's all in your head, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I'm really experiencing racism, and I'm really going through all these things.
Okay, I actually don't believe you that you experienced racism. I think you just are not pleased with how you came out, and you can thank your shark mom for that, okay? Am I allowed to say that? Probably not. You can thank her for race mixing, because now you have to deal with the consequences of that action for the rest of your life, and you'll never know who to identify with. Do I go with the black side of the family? Do I go with the white side of the family? I don't really know.
We got through it, okay? That was a lot, okay? And I am not going to say that everything she said was wrong, because first of all, I agree with some of it. You should absolutely be proud of whatever race you are, you know what I'm saying? Because you shouldn't have like a situation where you feel less than simply because you're this, because you're that. You know, if you're a black person, you should never feel less than if you're a white person, or if you're a biracial person. You should accept everything about yourself, because you have one body, one chance to live, and you're in this body. You might as well enjoy it and be proud of it, right? So with that being said, I agree with the fact that, you know what, maybe to a certain degree, you're going to have some people who choose to date and marry people that are like them. That way we do preserve the diversity that we have in America. I don't want to see white people disappear. I don't want to see black people disappear. I don't mind the fact that there are biracial couples, all kinds of different. It's not just between blacks and whites. I mean, you have Latinos mixing with Asians, and Asians mixing with Indians, and all kinds of different situations. And I don't think that that is wrong whatsoever. And if you step outside of the US, you're going to absolutely find pure races in other places of the world. When we were in Thailand, for instance, like literally we stood out like freaking sore thumbs, and people like literally were taking pictures of us because we look so different from them. First of all, I stand almost 6 feet off the ground. So as a woman in Thailand, I'm tall. And then, you know, our hair, you know, me and my children, we all have bushy, curly hair. My husband's a tall, slender, light-skinned black man. You know what I'm saying? So we look like the blackish family, you know, over in another country. Literally, we are a blackish family, because most people think that we are biracial. And they don't even realize that my husband's purely black. He's just very, very, very fair-skinned. But there's beauty in everything. There's beauty in a relationship between people of the same race, and there's beauty in the relationship of people of different races. You don't have to fit in some box. And in America, I am proud to be an American, and a lot of people tried to come over here, even though it's quite expensive to live here compared to other places. That's why we were traveling outside, because we were trying to see where we might want to live someday, just because things are changing so much and it's so expensive here. I mean, and our American dollar goes so much further other places of the world, so why not? You know what I'm saying? We can go from being middle class here to being upper middle class somewhere else, or even rich, you know what I'm saying, based upon our income. So something to look into, but I'm getting a little off subject here. The point was, this lady is outwardly racist, and I guess I just have never seen that before, and it's a little weird, but it's like crazy at the same time, like I said. But I just was shocked to just hear someone say this stuff. It's like watching Tommy Sotomayor, but in like a white female form, you know? I think I can swallow it a little bit better from Tommy, though, you know, talking about black people, probably because he's black, you know? And when a white person says it, it's like, ooh, that is really racist, you know, versus Tommy, it's like, maybe he's just a little bit like that character from the Boondocks. But, you know, it's way easier to swallow. It's actually comical, you know, and you can take the truth with it and accept it. But with hers, it's just a little bit harder to swallow. It's just like, should you be saying it, ma'am? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. And if you've made it this far, I appreciate you leaving me that blue heart. And guess what? I'll see you next time.